Checking back from last week's mystery hopper, we can now reveal that the brewery was Hook Norton Brewery. We're joined here today with Andy to do our 5 minutes with Faram segment.
My name's Andy and I'm the brewery supervisor at Hook Norton. I've been here around 7 years, going to be 8 years in July. And yeah, been here since then and always worked at Hook Norton.
There we go.
It's always been good.
So what's your favourite hop?
Favourite hop? I mean, for me, I love Challenger, work a lot with it. I think you can do so much with it, you know, all through the process. Many years ago, we did a single Challenger hop and it came out really, really well. So I do love working with it because it's so diverse. I love the new stuff coming out from, you know, like Farams and everybody else. It's great to see, you know, the Olicana and the Harlequin, all that coming through. We love using them here. We do try and incorporate them into some of our brews. What's really exciting for us. And it's great to see British farming and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we try and support that as much as we can here.
What sort of beers have you used, sort of Harlequin and Olicana in?
Yeah, so we did a beer called Hoptastic last year where we used Harlequin and Olicana in itself. What went down really well around our own pub estate. Mm-hmm. We now use Harlequin in our Cotswold Pale. What was taken out from US Chinook. We decided to move off that and bring it back to
bring
England.
It back to a British one.
You know it.
Yeah, very nice.
And yeah, we've also used Jester now in our Cotswold Pale as well. What's great. So yeah, we've been really trying to push with these English hops.
Yeah, I think from your point of view, am I right in saying you're quite a traditional brewery?
Correct, yeah.
So it's nice that there's that sort of, you're keeping that British sort of hop heritage, aren't you, that you've always had? And it's nice that you're able to now actually produce new flavours still from a British hop and you don't have to go
correct.
too far.
I mean, we do use hops from all around the world still. We did a 50-50 hop last year, what was Harlequin and Mosaic, what we thought went really well, what might come back again this year. So we always do we keep it traditional, but we like to try and push with the boundaries a little bit, what we're doing now with a good young team we have here. So that's something we're really trying to push. How
do you come up with ways of like creating new recipes? Are you quite experimental? Do you do a lot of test brews? Do you take inspiration from like other people? Or? Yeah,
so we've got a 5-barrel brewery plant, what we use for a bit of R&D, and we've just built a 100-litre plant in the brewery as well. So we can really try and push some new beers out. So we're starting to play around with all that at this minute in time. You know, it's whatever the boys are going out. If they've gone out and they've seen a beer they really like, they want to try and think, I want to do something like that. They bring it back to me and James and we have a look and then we think if it's right, we'll give it a go. And we always look at where the market's going. So we always make sure with that. But mainly, we just like to have fun. We don't try and put pressure on it. We always just try and have fun and see what we can make out of it. Yeah,
it's the best way, isn't it? And the ideas will spring from things then, won't they? Just sort of like brainstorming and that sort of stuff. So what would you say your favourite beer is? Either one you've brewed or it could be from a different brand? Or
well, I mean, I'm a hooky boy, so I love hooky beer. You know, Hooky Brewery, you know, our best bitter is, you know, I love it, 3.4%. We drink lots of it. I do like my hoppier beers as well. I'm well into that sort of stuff. I mean, I think Green Mountain from Thornbridge is just a phenomenal beer. I think Steady Rolling Man from Dare is just brilliant. You know, we did a collab with them a few years ago and that was great. And yeah, I would say those, but I would say definitely Hooky is one of my favourites by far.
Yeah, definitely slightly biased there.
Yeah,
but no, they are great beers. So yeah, no, definitely agree with that. So, what would you say your favourite beer destination is? Yeah, so I
went with you guys last year to the US. What I thought was just incredible, and getting to go there, seeing the process, then also then picking the hops for us, and then they come back to Hook Norton.
What did you pick?
So I picked Amarillo, Citra US Cascade, and some Willamette, sorry. What was amazing, it's just really cool to think that what I picked there has come all the way and it's at Hook Norton now.
And now you're starting to brew with it.
Yeah, and you know, for me, that destination, that whole trip was just phenomenal. And the beers were just incredible, to try.
Yeah,
these fresh, hot Citra, Amarillo beers, what we would never get to try over here. And you get to try them over there. It was just, it was something else. It really was.
Do you have like a favourite pub? Either that could be from that trip, or obviously it could be your local, or whatever, really.
Favourite pub? I love where we went last night for a drink, the Reindeer.
Yeah.
I thought that was that's one of my favourites. I love going in there. It's old school. It's good fun. There's a pub called the Rose and Crown in Oxford. What is just a great pub. And we go there quite often when we can. It's just oldie worldy. I love an oldie worldy pub.
Yeah,
I love it.
Traditional big beans, fireplace.
Sitting in the corner watching the world go by, seeing what people are drinking, all that sort of stuff.
And I guess for a brewer like yourself, the selection's obviously really important. And I guess, do you like a pub that changes their selection up quite regularly so you get to try new things?
Definitely. I think, like I said, I was quite biased earlier with my favourite beer, but I always go into a pub and you always look at those cask beer lines and look what there is and go, what am I going to have today? And I think that's something what should be done more. I think everybody should have a fair advantage of being able to get on the pub lines and trying their beers out, because there's nothing better when you walk into a pub every week and it's a different beer. You get excited from it. And that's the way I think it should be.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's nice just to have something like refreshing, isn't it? Like,
correct.
Oh, I'll give that a go.
Yeah,
and it's a bit of excitement and just to the drinking part of it, not just going for that same old.
It's too right. Yeah,
and you explore, and I guess from your point of view, it's great because then you taste the flavours of what other breweries are doing, and it helps you sort of your recipes.
You see what you're doing. I mean, being a brewer myself, I always sit there and try and pick out what I think's gone into it. Yeah, even though sometimes I can't even get the answer out of it. I still like to sit there and pick and see if I would be right or not. So it's great.
No, definitely. So when you are brewing, do you have like a certain piece of equipment that you can't live without?
So in our brewery, as you know, it's quite old school. And I think one of my favourite bits is the Steel's masher where we mash it in the morning.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful bit of kit, nice and shiny and that lovely brass going across. I think it would be a shame to ever see that one disappear. That's one of my favourite bits of kit. I would say, for me personally.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, it's nice. We've had, for that sort of question, you get answers that range from like big bits of kit that you just mentioned, and we get I got pen and paper the other day and computer the day before, and it was like, and I was like, you know what, those are the sort of things you need though, don't you? You need all those elements.
I mean, don't get me wrong, pen and paper is like gold dust around here. If you keep a pen for long enough, you've done well. So yeah.
So when you are brewing, do you listen to like any music, just any podcasts or any radio stations on to like keep the energy up? Or
I listen. So normally in the mornings when I'm not quite ready to listen to loads of music blaring through, I will listen to some podcasts. So I listen to Hop Forward a lot, what I love. I listen to the Hop Edition as well. It's a great podcast. It's really, really good fun. The guys seem like they just have fun, and that's what I love about it. And then, in the afternoon, I stick some music on, and it just varies. Sometimes I'm in the 70s, sometimes I'm into the new era. I love my Sam Fenders and all that sort of stuff. So I love listening to all that sort of thing as well. So it just varies,
Depends on mood you're in.
Yeah, and then when you have to dig out the mash tun or the hop back, and it's near the end of the day and you need something to get you going, you stick a bit of, pump up music going.
Yeah, you need that gym motivation, don't you?
Literally.
Physical sort of...
Yeah, it's literally near enough like going to the gym here.
Yeah, so. Saves you on a gym membership, I guess.
Yeah, too right.
So if you weren't in brewing, so obviously you said you've always been at Hooky.
Yeah.
So if you weren't in brewing, do you know what else you would be doing? Or
yeah, well, I mean, I'm a musician as well. I play drums, so I would say I'd hope I'd be good enough to be able to make a career out of that.
Yeah.
That would be definitely something I would love to do if I wasn't doing this. But I absolutely love brewing at the end of the day, so I'd always keep this going. But yeah, I'd hope to be quite a good drummer, maybe.
Yeah, that's exciting. So do you do any gigs or anything, or is it?
Yeah, I play in about 4 bands.
Oh, nice.
Cover bands around the areas and stuff like that. Play weddings, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Play local pubs and bars and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good fun.
What sort of songs do you play?
Everything you could really imagine with all the bands. I have a band what does indie music. I have a band what does R&B music. I have a band what does, strictly more 70s, 80s music. I have a band what does very poppy stuff. So lots of varies with everybody I work with.
So I guess that'd be one of your main sort of hobbies outside of work.
Yeah.
Did you have any others at all?
Yeah, I love my sport.
Yeah.
Love my football. Love
Who
cricket.
do you support?
I'm a Liverpool fan. So that could probably get some bad reviews now, but but I love my cricket. I don't play enough, unfortunately, anymore. But I do love playing cricket. I do love watching it. And whenever I can get on the golf course as well, I love to have a game of golf and just shut the world away and just hit that ball.
Yeah, no, lovely. No, that sounds really good. So how did you get into brewing? Like, how did you get into like hooky and that sort of thing? Like,
yeah, well, I'm a hooky boy, but that doesn't always mean you're going to get the job.
No, exactly.
But I was pretty much down the pub one day and somebody said, oh, there was a job going. And I said, oh, I think I'll go for it. And I went in for it and I got it, what I was very excited about. And it started on the bottom of the cask washer, tipping out all the old beer and stuff like that. And I thought, what am I doing? And then I thought, I'll try and stick with it because I want to get to where those guys are upstairs on the top of the brewery brewing. And then I just kept doing it until I got my opportunity. And then I just learned through the process, and here I am.
That's nice you've been able to sort of like work up the ranks.
It's great.
Have you got an inspiration that sort of like strives you to do that, to sort of work from being a cask washer up to a sort of a full-on brewer? Yeah,
I think there's that thing of, I love, people go, I love people's reaction when you go, I'm a brewer, and they're like, oh really, that's a really cool job. And I love that sort of feeling. So I really enjoy giving that sort of thing. I just love giving this sort of thing of the conversations with people, and you sense the passion, don't you, in like both the drinker and fellow brewers? Exactly. They all sort of love they love the whole industry, don't they? And it's that passion that I think a lot of people thrive off. And there is a passion there, and that, like you say, it strives you to get up to that point. Do you have like an actual person that is an inspiration? I mean, I would say Garrett Oliver from Brooklyn Brewery.
Yeah.
He is just a great person. I was very lucky to actually go to Brooklyn Brewery last year and have a look round, and it was just a moment. Yeah. I was very lucky to work with Mitch Steele from New Round Brewing last year, who is an amazing person. I also got to work with a guy called Will Mears, who's from Cambridge Brewing Co. in Boston, Massachusetts as well.
Oh, wow.
And that was a great moment as well, to work with these amazing American craft brewers. I thought was just an inspiration. I would say those sort of people. Do you find these sort of American craft brewers work in very different ways to us over here? Or? Yeah, I think there is that sort of bit of difference, but I love the enthusiasm of all these people, getting to actually sit down and talk to them and get this knowledge from them was great. I tried to pick every little bit I could out of, Mitch Steele and things like that. I always try and get to events where I can. What's great, to meet amazing people and all these amazing brewers in this country as well. There's so many amazing brewers in this country, and I think it's something we definitely need to keep running. And I hope to aspire one day to one of those sort of people. Yeah, that's really nice. So just to sort of wrap up our 5 minutes of Faram segment, just a couple of like quick fire questions. So what was the last beer you brewed? The last beer I brewed, in the big brewery or the little one? One of my own, or whatever you want to say. So I'm just designing a table beer at the moment. What we're really trying to push out. So that's kind of what I've got in the pipeline at the minute. The last beer I brewed, we did do our 175 gold, was 7.5% golden ale. Very nice. For our 175 year anniversary. So I done that not long ago as well. So lovely plenty stuff going on. So Fuggles or Golding? Golding. Why is that? Again, I think it's just diverse hop. I love it. I love, sometimes you can get that little bit of like a honey aroma off of it. And I just think it's great. I love that hop. Yeah, lovely stuff. And what's next for you, like as a brewer in the industry? For me next, I would say is what am I going to do next? The next thing I think for us, well, for me personally, is finish my brewing course, what finishes in June, and then have a bit of a break from learning.
Yeah.
And just brew again.
Rest of it, yeah.
And then maybe look at going a bit further with the studying side of it. I'd like to go a bit further with that. I would say that's the short term at the moment for me personally.
Very nice. Wow, thank you very much. Thank you for doing our 5 minutes with Faram segment.
Thank you.
And that sort of wraps it up, really. So happy days.
Thank you very much.